Bam, bam, back. I'm back in action. Timeout.
Dude, I stepped on the cord. Hold up. Wait a minute. Gotta find the hole. There we go.
Oh, slip
All right.
right in.
All right, we're back.
Should we restart?
I mean, I can cut it to here. Welcome to the DP show. We just started from there.
Episode 21. Nah, we'll keep that in.
Yeah.
Dude, I just watched this video. These plumbers, they have like a, where the water goes to the yard and like out over here, like a drain line.
Yeah.
They have a not an otter. They have a ferret that they put in one hole and it'll crawl through the whole tube and they tie a little string to it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's fire.
And it crawls out the other one, make sure it's clear. But it's white too, so it'll go in white.
It comes out dirty.
Yeah, it's a dirty little boy. Yeah, it's a dirty little boy. What do you got planned today? Let's see. I went on that Florida trip. That was fun. Was it 2 weeks ago? We went down to Fort Lauderdale for. First day I was down there. Granted, I flew down there for work, and then we had an Uber everywhere. But there was like a pub. Sam, you good, bro? There's a Publix like 2 miles away or a mile and a half away that I was walking to. And I was coming back, and there's a main strip through Fort Lauderdale where our hotel is next to. There was like a Lamborghini Huracan, a Urus, and then 2 McLarens racing each other down the road.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was like, dude, that's wild. So that's like the type of life I want to live. It'd be fun. And then right next to us there was the dealership was called One of One. They had my all-time favorite car is a GT3 RS. They had 2 of those in there. They had like Ferraris, Phantom, Rolls Royce, a bunch of McLarens and stuff like that. It's crazy seeing all those cars in person. Yeah. All the windows were down too. I mean, you're not supposed to touch them or anything, but it was it's pretty sweet seeing those cars in person. It's a lot of money, but
just sitting there.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder what one of the guys we were training with down there. He used to work for a Lamborghini dealership. He was like a general sales manager or sales manager down there. He said driving those every day got boring, or just it was like another day overtime.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was wondering if that'd be true, like, because like you drive a sports car every day, you get used to it, but if you go drive like a regular car, like a Honda Accord, the sports car every day is still more enjoyable.
Yeah.
So that's what I was wondering, like, do you really get used to it, or do you get like...
I think you get used to it.
Where you get comfortable enjoying it. Like, I guess your enjoyment level...
It's just like drug addicts. How they reach that high the first time they get it, and then every time they're chasing that high, but the high just gets lower and lower. I think it's the same thing. When the more you use that same car, the high of it versus the first time you drive it just gets lower and lower. Yeah,
but I think the baseline enjoyment level is higher.
Yeah, like I guess it depends on like what you enjoy about the car too.
No, like you enjoy the driving experience.
Yeah.
So like your baseline driving experience of a Honda Accord, let's say, is like 25. A Lamborghini is probably like 75. Like, first time driving, it's like 150. Like, you absolutely love it. But then your baselines can be higher than...
I don't know. Even if I had a nice car like that, I don't think I'd drive it that much.
Well, I mean, if you did daily, if you had 10 of them.
Yeah.
And you had one just for daily. Like, that's what I'm saying.
If I was rich enough, yeah, I would. But, like, I'd just be so scared of just, like, hitting a curb or hitting a pothole or scraping.
Yeah, but it's not really your concern if you have one of those cars.
Yeah, that's true. Even then, I would just feel bad.
Yeah, but if you're going to feel that way about that car, you have another one you're going to drive, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's what I was, who was I talking to? I was talking to one of my customers that every 2 years he would buy an Audi R8, which they don't make anymore. I just seen a post, they're coming back in 2027. I think they're doing some sort of collaboration with a...
Collaboration with...
I like that.
A little bit of aggregation in there.
Yeah, with a Lamborghini. Yeah, so like Lamborghini with, they're like I wouldn't say the entry level of a supercar yet. They're probably the most popular of someone when they get money. That's what they go by first. So it's kind of, it hasn't like ruined the name, but it's kind of like tainted it where it's not like as.
It's like the first
exciting
car that somebody wants to flex with.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling you. Like, it reminds me of like when a crypto kid hits it big, and then his first car he goes buys a Lamborghini.
Or somebody wins the lottery.
Yeah.
Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Huracan.
Right. Like it's they're
Aventador.
They're fantastic cars, but it's like they're kind of like, eh.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just like the first flashy car that somebody can think of.
It is, yeah. Like the person that would never dream of having one, it's like the first car they can. Oh, Lamborghini.
It's the one that the 15-year-old has a poster of.
Right. Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
I saw this in a rap video.
Right.
I want one now too.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but, and I don't know if their stipulations are as hard to get. Like Ferraris, you got to buy like a used one cash, and then you can go buy a new one. And then you gotta like, it's like a tier level, and I think
they
Porsche,
definitely don't have that for.
Yeah, and I think Porsche's the same thing. Like I heard once that you just can't walk in and go buy a GT3 RS, which is their top of the line. Which I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't do much research about it.
I think you can, if you get it like used from somebody you know or something.
No, I'm saying like a brand new one.
Yeah, a brand new one. Yeah, I'm sure it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Because I've heard the same thing about some of those cars.
Wait, Sam, what are you doing?
It's like a 5-year venture.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like a tiered venture. You know, I always thought if you had enough money, if you just went and bought one, draw off lot, drove it right back, traded it in, bought the next one, just kept doing that. That'd be kind of cool.
All in one day.
Yeah.
What?
GT3 RS new without owning a previous Porsche. Let's see what the old Google. Let's see. You only sell select to your customers. So yeah, the 3RS, the new 3RSs are pretty much set for your hand-picked customers. Let's see, Porsche. You probably won't find one. So it looks like you can just go buy a 3RS, but typically, like the allocations, like they're obviously not unlimited allocations. So more than likely, most of the clients are pre-picked or you're on a waiting list. Yet, if you get on that waiting list, you'll be fine. I did want to talk about electric cars. What's your thought on those? I know we've talked about them before, but there's been Elon.
Dude, I just seen something.
Ass reamed right now.
I just seen something about Tesla. There's somebody made a site. It's called like Doge something.
Mm-hmm.
They're like outing every single Tesla owner in the world.
Oh really?
Yeah. Like, putting their personal address out there and everything. If you own a Tesla, and the only way you can take it down is if you prove that you sold it. And it's for like people that hate Elon or Teslas right now.
Yeah,
I
was listening to
go out there and do something to their car, basically.
Yeah, which is crazy because like 20 foot away from Teslas, they start recording.
Yeah.
Like there's cameras on every. Like some dude, I was listening to Rogan. Some dude went up to a Tesla and like shit in his hand and started wiping it all over the car.
Oh my gosh!
And whoever Rogan was talking to, he was like, that dude just has a shit fetish. Like he was just wanting an excuse to go wipe shit somewhere. Like he probably go home and plays with on shit all the time. I was like, that's wild.
The weirdest thing you could do.
Yeah.
To like vandalize something.
Like you can spray paint it or pop the tires or scratch, but like the shit in your own hand and you just wipe it. That's wild.
Like you're cool with that on your own hand? That's insane.
That's what like you got some fetish with something like that.
There's some messed up people out there, dude.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
I mean, like I'd low-key do it once, just say I did it, but like.
Yeah, sure.
Type shit.
You do your thing.
Hey man.
You do your thing.
Dude, I'm gonna do it to your car one day.
Please don't.
When I was growing up, I was always told like about the old trick, like you shit in a bag and light it on fire on someone's porch and they go stomp on it. That'd be disgusting.
It would be. There's like other ones that you can do to cars, like put bologna on them.
Or just like cut the brake lines.
Okay, that's attempted murder.
You just said other things you can do. Or like you put like a water bottle under their tire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a nail under there. I did that once.
Yeah, we talked about that already.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy. Elon, since the height of Elon's, I wouldn't even say Elon Musk, Tesla stock in December, it is down 121 billion.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that's part of the reason why Trump bought one. I think like 3 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah.
He bought a red Tesla in support of it. Which
Good time to get in.
Yeah.
When it's down.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't know.
They're literally just hating on him because he supports Trump.
Yeah. One thing I
insane.
don't like from like the car side of things is like he keeps dropping the price, just like the new sales price of his Teslas, which if you buy one electric car's issue with those is their value is they never hold their value.
Yeah.
One, because like your phones, like every year a new phone comes out. Every year it's so that car is like only technology. Like there's no engine that makes it nice. There's no, there's no like rarity of this, special V8 with twin turbo or whatnot. So it just loses its value so fast. And like we'll sell a BMW iX or which is like iX M60, which is like 120 grand, let's say. We'll put it through Service Loaner, so we'll use it as like a shuttle for service people for 6 months and put 4,000 miles on it. After that, in a 6-month period, we will sell it for like 89 grand. So in 6 months, you're losing 30 grand. Yeah, and that's on top of that, that's being certified, which raises the price, and it doesn't actually have an owner. It's just the dealership.
Yeah.
So writing the vehicle down. So if you're an actual owner of that car over the course of a year, and you buy a $120,000 electric vehicle, you go trade it in a year from now, you're going to be losing in between $30,000 and $50,000 on that car. So
How do you get a used one?
Well, no, not really that. A recommendation for anybody looking at an electric vehicle, whether you're a cash person, finance person, you really need to look at leasing and lease the vehicle. Because you don't have negative equity after a lease. So on a vehicle like that that's going to lose so much value, you need to lease the vehicle because you don't have negative equity at the end. That's going to be the smartest way. Granted, you'll never own it. The manufacturer that you lease from owns it, yet you won't ever have to worry about trading it in 3 years and being upside down. Because like if you make a payment, if you finance that car, and you make a payment on it, you're never going to catch up to the devaluing of it, so, and it's not really the batteries. Like we learned at our training that like battery vehicles catch on fire is like a stupid low number compared to internal combustion engines. So it's not really like a hazard, but it's really just like the technology over like every year it just increases so much more and gets better, because in the range of the batteries, just like your phone over time goes down. So if you drive your electric car super hard, the battery's life of like how far one charge can go is not going to be nearly as good as what a brand new one is, right? So, and then those batteries are made to last for like 10 years. They typically come with a 8-year or 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty. So the life of them isn't the issue, but you can buy a brand new one that just come out that gets 400 miles per range, but your used one only gets 280. It's kind of, but anyway, it's my small rant about electric vehicles. I
think they're cool.
Yeah, they're practical if you like driving around town. Like, so if you're doing a lot of like in-town driving, I'd really recommend like a hybrid. Because like you look at an X5 50E hybrid, you can get like 25 to 30 miles on full electric. So if you're just driving 25 miles a day, like I sold this customer a GLE 450E, which is their hybrid, which is like a competitor to the X5. I've sold it to him like a month and a half ago. He's filled up once in like the past like 3 weeks. Wow. And he drives it. So, basically you just drive on the electric battery. If you just commutes like 20 miles, 30 miles a day, get back home, throw it on the charger, and you really never have to use
The gas, really.
right. So yeah, you can go weeks if you're just, in town commuting without ever filling up your gas, which that's where the value starts kicking back in. Even so, a vehicle like that, I'll look at leasing too, because whenever you add in like a component of a battery or hybrid system, the value just plummets on. Same thing with luxury vehicles with Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Lexus. I wouldn't really call Lexus too much of a luxury line. Yet still, they lose their value decently quick.
I guess it's every car.
Yeah, some are better than others. Like your Toyotas, that's what Lexus holds their value a little bit better. Yet they're like technology is like 5 years behind everybody because they just use what's tested and ran through. So they just use that so they can hold the brand of like longevity. Yet like if you look at BMW is at the forefront of technology. So yeah, they have some bugs up front, but that's just a different sides of the luxury. Like, do you want to be longevity 5 years behind, or do you want to be at the forefront of the technology, the driving experience, everything like that? So I mean, it's just even like you go buy like a Maybach or something like that. I mean, you're losing $80,000 after your first year or 2 years of. I mean, you buy a 200.
But if you can afford it, they don't care.
Yeah, but still, man, that's why if you're not planning to keep the car for like 5+ years, I'd recommend just leasing that thing for 3 years, 15,000 miles a year. And then just because you're always going to be under warranty, and then just getting into something else at the end of the lease. If you're going to go at a super high line, Maybach scenario, or you're going to go like a X5s do well, but if you're going to go like a GLS, which is their third row for Mercedes, they lose out the ass too. I mean, if you're going to keep them for 2 years and try to get another one, just lease that thing. Don't finance it. You're going to be upside down. But type shit. But we see it every day. Oh, shit, I just exited tab. What I want to talk about is that Dodge, they're Stellantis, so it's owns like CDJR, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. They're down like 15% on the year of 2024 because they started pushing all the electric vehicles. They got rid of that CEO, got a new one. He's bringing back the V8s like immediately, putting it back in the TRXs, putting it back in the Chargers and stuff like that, because these electric pieces of shit are just the electric Charger. They combine the Charger and Challenger into electric vehicle, and they're just sitting everywhere. It's ridiculous. I'll be curious to see if they're going to keep the same body style and just throw your 5.7 V8s, your 6.4s and stuff back in them, or they're going to go completely different variant of their V8s. But I'll be curious to see what kind of body style.
Yeah, they're just not practical for everybody.
Well, it's just like whoever owns Facebook. What's his name?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it's just you follow whoever the leader is. Trump's back in office, so now you're going to follow like free speech, more gas engines. You get someone like a Biden back in, well, you're going to really push the electric vehicles, keep more control, then you're going to censor people. That's just, you basically follow whoever is not going to shut down your business, essentially, so.
Even then, like the electric cars were still losing a lot of value under Biden.
Right, but they weren't, like the government was setting more like regulations, and like by year 2030.
Oh yeah, they were putting a bunch of incentives.
Right, they're pressing it heavily. We can pause and come back real quick. Back to electric cars. So, did I just exit another tab? God.
Probably.
Oh no, I didn't. So what? So obviously I work for BMW and Mercedes. What I've noticed, our BMW clients are being able to transfer or transition into electric vehicles a lot easier. And a fact that I learned while I was on training is that like 80% of your electric vehicle clients, once they own their first one, 80% of the time they go back into another electric vehicle. So I think it's something that people do enjoy. It's just the losing of the value, they're going to have to figure out some way. Or granted, they run absurd lease specials on BMWs and stuff to help customers push them into a lease. But yeah, I mean, if one, never pay cash to them, two, but BMW the brand, like if you look at the 4 Series and 5 Series and 7 Series, which is their sedans, and then you look at which is the i4, which is the electric, the i5 and the i7, they're almost identical.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that helps your customers transition into electric, having the cars look very similar. Versus like you look at Kia or you look at Mercedes, when they switch, like their S-Class is their top of the line Mercedes sedan, which is a comparison to the 7 Series of BMW. You're going to go look at the EQS, which looks like a fucking bubble, you know? So like you take like something that like a presidential car, because like the S-Class is what the Maybach sedan is. It's just what, you know, typically the Maybach's going to have a V12 in it. Yeah, you can get a V8, but either way, it's a Maybach essentially, just with a few less options and badging in the Maybach. And you take that luxury of a car and then you make a bubble-shaped car. The transition's never going to be smooth that way. You know, you got to make it look as good, if not better, to help guide your customers into an electric vehicle. Because there's a lot of people. If you work with, I wouldn't say normal clientele, but if you work with like a set of clientele that is looking at like your Chevys or your Nissans, they're going to be a lot more, I guess, adamant with staying with gasoline engines. So like even that more so than a BMW Mercedes brand, you really have to stick with the same look to help transition. But like I've noticed with BMW clients over anybody else, they've been more open-minded to electric for whatever reason. But I think a huge component of that is keeping the look of the iconic look of the BMW that everybody loves, and then just making it electric.
Yeah,
is the best
there's
thing.
a lot that goes into owning an electric vehicle, like the
There
depreciation, and then even like the setting up the charger at your own house.
100%. If you can set up, that's a
like
the other thing.
isn't it like a couple grand to set it up?
No, it's actually quite cheap, essentially. So like if the 240 volt outlet is that you hook your dryer to, so you can either do it two ways. You can set it up where that outlet, you can set up like an external outlet that's connected to that. So if your dryer's not running, you can charge your car. I wouldn't really recommend that. The best way to do it is your breaker box, you know, in your garage or your carport or something like that. What you do is you have an electrician come run a 240 volt outlet from that to wherever you're going to be charging a car. It costs between like $100 and $400, depending on how far he's running it. And then when you buy an electric vehicle, a full electric vehicle, you get level 1 charging, which is your 110 outlet, which is what you charge your phone with. And then you get an adapter that's 240 volt outlet, which is what you charge in the dryer outlet. So that's already provided with you with the purchase. So you basically just pay for that installation. So it's quite a bit cheaper.
Gotcha.
Yet if you don't have either a job or housing that you can regularly charge at every night, electric vehicles can be difficult because then you're not charging your car every night. So it's like you're filling up gas every week, which is fine. Yet you may have to, instead of going 2 miles down the road to a gas station, you have to travel like to the Corvette plant, which could be 20 minutes from you to charge.
Yeah. That's probably why the transitioning of those clienteles versus the more average ones.
Yeah, and like a lot of your BMW and Mercedes clients, they have their own houses and stuff. They're not in apartments. Not saying all of them.
Yeah,
Not saying one way is better or not. Just typically obvious. Your BMW clients are more your wealthier people. Same with Mercedes. They typically have a house to plug into.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I guess with money comes the forefront of wanting the latest and greatest technology. That's why they're most adaptive to transfer over. Like I have these couple set of clients, really the best electric vehicle to lease is a loaner. So like that comes out of loaner status after 6 months with in between 4,000 to 6,000 miles on it. That's already marked down 30 grand ish from the dealership. And then there's a lease special on it. That's the one you lease, right?
Yeah.
I have a set of clients that leased a new i7 and an iX from us, and 3 years, they're going to trade that, or they're going to get out of that lease and right back into another one. That's the best way to do it. Yet they have charging at their house and their cabin and stuff that they go to. But for like long road trips is where electric cars get difficult.
Yeah.
Because there's charging stations going up everywhere throughout the country, which is great. Yet, and they make apps to, like, basically if you're trying to go here from Florida, instead of doing a straight shot, basically you're, playing, ping pong, basically back and forth of hitting chargers. Granted, you'll probably have to charge twice if you're in Kentucky going on to Florida. Yet, you can be held up instead of 10 minutes, 5 minutes at a gas station. It could be 20 to 40 minutes.
Yeah,
charging.
That's the other thing. It's just sort of an inconvenience every once in a while.
Yeah,
in those kind of situations.
Yeah,
and like people that live in like apartments or just like they're renting out a house or those kind of lifestyles.
Yes.
They're definitely not going to be able to put in a charging station, and then they're going to have to go find somewhere around them.
Yeah.
And if you're not in an area where like that's pretty common, like here I've only seen one charging station in town. I don't know
some
of any
IGAs
others.
have them. Myers have them.
Myers the only one that I knew of.
Corvette plant has a bunch. The
Corvette.
IGA across from Leachman does.
Gotcha. So like 3 spots, and then you have to chill there for 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah. So 2 things. One is that it's only going to get better from here on out.
Yeah, of course.
And then to piggyback off that, in 2026, BMW is going to come out with an adapter that then adapts to Tesla chargers. So if you have a Tesla, Meyer has Tesla chargers. So you go there, you'll probably sit there 15, 20 minutes, and you'll get 80% charge. So that is pretty quick. So you run inside, grab a snack, you come out, you're good to go. So that is good. And then to what you said about living in an apartment complex, I had a customer that she's like, oh yeah, no big deal. I can get this level 2 charger put in at my apartment. So I was like, cool. She wanted electric. I'm like, no big deal. Well, come to find out that when she asked to get that installed, she would then have to pay the insurance in case of a fire because it's not a standard thing that apartment complex offers.
Gotcha.
So she would have to pay for installation and then monthly insurance on that. So just be careful of that if you're looking.
Yeah. I mean, eventually everybody will start innovating. The more popular that they become, the better they become.
Yeah, they'll be able to charge faster with less power, hold their charge longer. Like, it's only going to get better.
Yeah,
hence,
and then eventually your apartments will start to accommodate for it.
Yes, yeah, or it'll be easier with the 110 outlet.
Or
but
hotels or whatever.
Yeah, hotels is huge. I would recommend hotels to get them. But,
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure that costs money too. And it makes some money. Like, if you are at a mall and you have your car charging out there, like, and your car charges 100% and it's still sitting on the charger for like another hour after, you'll get charged for that hour or two from like delayed usage, basically, of other people need to use it. Yeah. It's basically you just parking at a gas pump and leaving your car while you go sit down for 3 hours and eat food. It's just, you can't do that. Yeah, we'll see. But I would, to wrap everything up, it doesn't make sense to force everybody to an electric car when you can still offer the V8 that everybody loves. Like, the speed's cool, but half the drive is feeling the engine, hearing it, even though it's not faster, let's say, but that's half the experience is hearing the, like you take an American V8, I mean, the sound of that is half of you owning the car. Like, every time you start it up, that's like the reason why you bought the car, and spent, $60,000, $100,000 versus going to buy, a Tesla per se or something like that.
Not everybody's into that.
No, great, which is 100% fine. It's just I would recommend to always have options.
Yeah.
Like, let the people have options. You're going to get better customer satisfaction. You get people spending more money. And then on top of that, seeing what these tariffs are going to do. So
yeah, it's going to be a big thing.
Yeah. I know we're tariffing Canada, Mexico. So BMW, they make some cars in Mexico, United States, Germany, and stuff like that. So their prices are going to go up. So I think there may be a time when you're going to have, let's just say, a 5 Series. 5 Series are made in Germany. you're going to have two 5 Series sitting side by side. One that's been here for 2 months that wasn't tariffed, and the same exact car that was tariffed. And there's going to be a several $1,000s difference in that price tag. So I'll be like what we talked about Harley last week about the campers and stuff. Their parts come from Canada. Be curious to see how that goes. I heard Trump's initial thought or plan was to, I think the dates were like 1876 to like 1970, where they ran high tariffs but no federal income tax. So what that translate to is some things on the shelf will be more expensive, but you have more money in your pocket to decide what you want to spend your money on.
Yeah.
Which means, so the math on that estimated would be if you made $100,000 a year, your take home is going to be plus $20,000. So like where normally you would take home $60,000 after taxes, you're going to be taking home $80,000. In essence, I would think people would be more okay with higher prices if they're getting paid more to then lead them to decide what they want to spend their money on. Because not everything's price is going to increase because of tariffs. Some stuff is made in their country. Some stuff we don't import as much. But if you give Americans more money, they're going to spend it, because very few people know how to control their money. Like I used to work with a guy that's in their mid-50s, still live with his mom. His excuse is, I just don't know how to manage money. You pay him, an extra $20,000 a year if he's making $100,000. He's just going to go spend it, which then puts more money in your local businesses, your economy in the country. You start supporting your own country better. So I hope, along with the no taxing on overtime and tips, that actually does go through with what he asked for, because I think that's only going to benefit the country more.
Yeah, in the long run, it should.
I would say so. Yeah. Then
and it's also going to drive more companies to like start
come back to the United States.
Yeah, production in the United States, because they'll be like, oh well, we're making so much more money here,
right? And
we just got to pay our people a little bit more to work.
Yeah, it's just like Joe Rogan, I always say his name, but he's like the iPhone thing. Like, these are made by slaves in mines, just to save some money. And as Apple, as a company, is one of the most profitable, if not the most profitable company ever to exist. I mean, if you charge an extra $100, $200 to make this phone in the United States and say U.S.-made iPhone, I think those are going to sell quite a bit more. Yeah. Especially like even your lower middle class, they would find a way to put on their phone plan an extra $5 a month to pay for the U.S. made one.
Yeah. And they'll be okay with that if they're getting an extra 20% a year.
Yeah, that too. And then just to know, like, there's not children making these for me. Like there's right. It's real people in a real factory with work laws that have made this phone. So
that's what I like about Mr. Beast and like the stuff he does. Like, he tries to make sure all of his stuff is moral and ethical.
Yeah, well,
like
he gives
his chocolate, like a lot of that where it's made, or where the like
his
chocolate beans are. Yeah, it's good, and the farms that like the people work at, like
the ingredients.
All of them are like children.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm not cool with that.
No, not that.
Yeah, so I'll just pay y'all more so we can not have kids working there, and you have enough money to support your families. Yeah, versus the big ones that are, it's just a few kids working in this.
Yeah, it's like, well, we don't see them, or it's not our country, it's their issues. It's like...
Yeah, when you could
but...
You could just pay them a little bit more.
Yeah.
And they're not getting paid a lot, like... You don't need a lot of money in these third world countries to make it enough to put food on the table.
Especially if you translate their currency to the United States.
That's what I mean.
The U.S. dollars.
Like, you take $10,000 to some of those countries, and you'll live like a king.
Yes. Like, you go to, like, Turkey, and you take, let's say you have $500,000. You go over there, you're living in, like, a villa for the rest of your life.
You're retired.
Like, you go there, if you got $500,000 at 30 years old, you're not working the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like, you're just chilling, in a villa, just hanging out, basically. Yeah. Like, food's paid for. It's
waiters, food service, whatever you want, you got it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Humanity is not much to. They always chase money, which is good if you use it as a tool to get where you want to go or support your family, go on trips and stuff that your family deserves, whatnot. But it never seems to be enough. Which I don't know. Like these, like Obama's a good one. He went into office as net worth was like $400,000, and he come out his net worth was like 80 mil or something like that, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
After his 8 years.
That's pretty cool.
100. I think the United presidents.
I wish I could do that in 4 years.
Yeah. Well, he did it in 8. He had 2 terms.
8 years.
I think president's salary is what, 400K. We looked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, 400K. Obama would be net worth before and after presidency. It's the first thing you look up.
Yep. That's the other thing.
Oh, and actually, Trump was one of the only presidents to lose net worth while being a president. He went from a $3 billion net worth down to 2.3.
And he didn't get paid.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Obama's was 1.3 million going into office. He left after 8 years at 70 million.
Oh,
and you make 400 grand a year, so.
Yeah, how do you do that off of 400 grand a year?
Let's go.
8 years. It's like 1.2.
That's 3.2.
3.2.
Yeah,
no, I did 4 years.
That's okay. So we're, that's why our country has never been able to pass an audit before, right?
Yeah.
So where did the 65 million of net worth come from in 8 years? Was it Nancy Pelosi? Ain't she the trading god?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of insider bullshit going on there.
Hillary too, I think.
But as they say, Trump is the worst. All he's in it for money. He's just a sleazy businessman that just wants to make money for himself.
That's crazy, bro.
Taking $1 a year
what is
salary.
that percentage from 3 billion to 2.7? You say 2.3?
2.3. Yeah, so
$700 million.
Yeah, you're gonna be looking around in the 20% range of his net worth.
That's crazy.
Low 20s, high teens. Which obviously the dude doesn't give a shit because he ran, lost to Joe Biden, and then ran again, and then now is president. So obviously doesn't really give a shit. Honey badger don't give a shit is what they say.
Exactly.
Honey badger don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't know how we ended up here, but I guess we'll take a little break and we'll come back here in just a couple seconds. And we back here. Bitcoin's at 85,000.
Is it really?
That shit low.
Think it'll hit 70 or 100 first?
I think that's pretty much a setting point. Could be wrong though. What do I know?
I think it'll bounce back.
I don't think it's gonna touch 70 ever again. That was probably not a bad time to get into it, but I don't know. That crypto stuff's weird. The whole Elon's or
It's
Tesla.
really the whole market's down right now.
Yeah.
You can't just blame it on it being crypto.
No. The whole Tesla stock is still pretty wild to me.
Yeah, it's nuts.
How's day trading been going in the morning for you?
It's been alright.
You still
Nothing crazy.
venturing down it?
Yeah, I haven't made a ton of money, but
It's experience though.
it is experience.
Experience.
We're getting there.
What have I been looking into? Oh yeah, well, last night when we were at Connor's, we were just like hanging out and like doing guy shit, as in all 4 of us were standing on the front porch looking at the stars.
Yeah.
The amount of shit that's flying around out there is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've just sat there and like watched the stars.
Like it was a crisp, pretty night last night, and like we shut off all the lights of the house and we were just staring at the stars, and there's like stuff going everywhere.
Yeah. And we started talking about the aliens again. Dude, I freaking hate it. Every time we bring it up, somebody's like, sure, it's not a shooting star. Like,
yeah, they tried debunking.
yeah, it's like we
it.
haven't seen a shooting star before.
Yeah, well, we seen one last night, and it looked nothing like. It was small.
No.
It was white.
It's a different galaxy, basically.
Yeah.
And you could barely see it.
I don't know.
And then we're talking about something that's literally like in shooting distance.
Yeah, it was like a yellow orb that just was there, and then it was just went away.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Like you're driving down the road and it's the same amount of light or the same size that you'd get from a street light.
Yeah, it was like a little street light.
Yeah.
Way up in the sky, and it was just gone.
Not the little dots you see in the sky, and
Right.
the stars or planets or whatever.
Yeah.
No, this was like close.
Yeah, and there was no stars out,
Yeah.
and it was orange.
Yeah.
Wild. Well,
Dude, I believe in aliens and all that stuff. Simulations. Simulation thought is really interesting.
oh, that's one thing I was gonna. Yeah, what do you think about like dreams and simulations and stuff?
Dreams? I don't know. I think dreams are just like stuff you think about in your subconscious. But the simulations, I think, could be real. We're either in a simulation or we're going to start the simulation. There's no in between.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're either towards the end of it, like we're in it and somebody's controlling us, or we're in little tubes, or this is like all a video game, or we're going to start it. Because we've already started like games like that, like Sims, where you control the little people and you dress them and you choose their jobs and all that. And you're just going to get more and more advanced to where like we could eventually plug in a little headset, lay there, and we're living another life and it looks completely real.
Feels real.
Yeah, because I mean the only difference between that simulation or a video game is the amount of data that we can send and receive. Like all the data that you can feel the air when you move your hand.
Right.
That kind of data.
Yeah. Imagine getting like cheat codes in that game.
Dude, that'd be
It'd
crazy.
be pretty cool.
That'd be fun.
Like GTA. I heard GTA is supposed to be crazy, like where you can be buying actual like houses and stuff.
Yeah.
And like trade actual currency and money. But whole simulation's weird. Do you believe that like the universe is so big where there's other people living the same exact life you are to the T?
No. I could see the multiverse being real.
Yeah.
Like every single decision you make, the opposite decision creates like a split in a whole new universe.
I almost leaning towards like I could believe the universe is so big that there's another planet in another galaxy with a person living the same life as you, dealing with the same thoughts, same experiences, same breaths of air at the same time. Like the universe is that, well, it's forever expanding, but like we're such a small glimpse.
Yeah.
It's like,
But we're also like a phenomenon.
no, that we think we are.
Okay, we think we are, but
We haven't even been on the moon, bro. Type shit. Like
I don't know.
there's no.
I just find it super hard to believe that like they have the same makeup as us. Like we believe in aliens, right? Or we think there are aliens
Yeah,
out
but
there.
theoretically, we're an alien to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. But what are the odds that there's an alien somewhere else out there that has the exact same build as us, like down to our DNA, and makes the same decisions?
It's like, what are the odds that you were born? It's like 1 in 1 trillion that you were born.
No, it's true, but still, it's just I find it really difficult.
No,
Because
like,
we'd have to
course.
start from the same like.
Yeah, but your mind can't comprehend it. Just like you can't comprehend how many people are in 100,000 people, what it looks like. You can't comprehend how big the Earth is, or how big our sun is, or how big a black hole is that swallow our whole Milky Way galaxy. It's just like, for me, like past a number like 200, it's hard to comprehend what it is.
Yeah.
Like you ever look at like you're hunting out in a field and you're like, oh, I think that's 200 yards, and it'll be like 325 or 160. Like it's human brain can't judgment that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but still, like, I feel like we'd have to start from the exact same thing. There's no way we develop from a different thing. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the Earth, like, there is a chance that there's a planet out there that is running the same path we are.
Yeah, no, I could believe that. I could believe that. Like, there's another planet with like basically humans.
No, I'm saying everything is the same as this one.
No, I don't think
Because
so.
in order for me to have an identical person running the same exact life there, that means the entire world, that world has to be the same as this world.
Yeah, I just don't think that's possible.
That's fun to think about.
Every single thing would have to be the exact same.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, theoretically.
Like,
because,
those people don't have a third eye or something.
Yes, everything to the T.
No.
To
I
us
don't-
having this conversation,
No.
they are having this
I don't think that's
conversation.
possible. In the multiverse, I think that's possible. But not in, like, the same galaxy. No.
if it's true, whoever is me has said some fucked up shit, man.
Yeah, 100%. Same.
But it was funny,
It was funny.
so it's okay.
Yeah, it was all jokes.
It's all jokes. It's when it's set on Xbox, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Right?
In the context of a joke, none of it's real, you know?
Yeah, well, what make jokes funny is that, like, there's some truth to it.
There's
Like-
some truth to it, but it's not real.
Like, you're saying what other people can't in the context of a joke. That's why it's funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of joke, we get to go to Kill Tony, and that's in 2 weeks.
Is it really?
It's in 2 weeks. It's the 7th. No, it's the 4th. Not this Friday, this coming Friday, next Friday.
The Friday?
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
That's when JT closes on that house, I think.
Oh, does he?
Or he's moving in that weekend,
Damn.
I think. Yeah,
Good for him.
it is.
Good for him.
And then they're going to have kids next year, get married this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep saying it. Just,
Speaking of existence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up, bro.
it's not messed up. Kids are a beautiful thing. It's a great part of life.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
For most people.
Huh?
For most people. For
Yeah.
good people, yeah. And they're good people.
Yeah. Well, sometimes kids make bad people good people.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And-
Sometimes.
and good people, even better people.
Sometimes it makes good people bad people.
I mean, I wouldn't call them bad people. Maybe make bad decisions.
Yeah. Well, what's the definition of a good person, right?
Yeah,
Type shit.
but that's a whole different conversation. That's all about morals and ethics, and
Yeah.
that's some philosopher stuff.
All the dreams thing. I'm so curious, and like we don't even know anything about the human brain. Like we know stuff about the human brain, but we don't have pretty much squat figured out about the human brain.
No,
Like that's
I
why
don't understand
like,
any of it.
I'm just wondering like what the dream state is.
I don't know, because some of it's weird because you have like those deja vu moments.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like, do you have those even though you don't remember dreams?
Yeah, but
It doesn't
I
make
don't
any
have
sense.
No, I have deja vus. That means like you think you've done the same thing before.
Yeah, but
Not
I've
sleep.
seen it in dreams.
Oh no,
when I have a deja vu moment, it's like, oh, I had a dream about this exact moment.
No, I do it in IRL in real life. I had it the other day. I forget what it was, but I'm like, I think I've, like, it's so weird. Like I think I'm putting in the same note before, and I just got the phone call from the same customer, and I'm like feeling the same way. It's just weird stuff like that I think I've done before.
No, mine's in dreams.
Yeah.
Like I've seen this in a dream when I have a deja vu moment. And then like sometimes it is just like, oh, I've been here before, but I never had a dream about it. But a lot of times when it happens, I've had a dream about it, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to be here at this exact moment because this is insane.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, like I said, I don't remember my dreams. I think partially because I go to bed when I'm extremely tired, so I go right into REM sleep or deep sleep, whatever
Yeah.
that is.
I think you have dreams, you just don't remember them.
Maybe. I know, like, when I'll take my, like, 15, 20-minute power nap, I'll have dreams because I never get into a deep sleep.
That's usually when they happen the most to me, is when I like wake up in the middle of the night, like an hour before my alarm, and I go back to sleep.
Mm.
And then I have some crazy dreams.
Yeah. Yeah. I did want to talk about, switch it up real quick. Exercising over mental illness.
Mental what?
Wellness, wellness, health. I seen health and I meant to say wellness. So like the benefits of working out is 1.5% more effective than any medication.
Yeah.
Which, have you heard that before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, where was I reading at?
It just makes sense.
So 20% odds of becoming increase.
Because if you're not healthy, I just feel like it makes everything else worse.
Yeah. Well, I think too, once you start investing like your time into something too, you start making better decisions. Even like food and stuff like that, the food you intake too can control a lot of that. You not putting yourself through suffering can control that. This study from health.harvard.edu, quote unquote, we saw a 26% decrease in odds for becoming depressed for each major increase in objectively measured physical activity. So that's from harvard.edu.
Yeah. I think the other thing is when people are depressed, they've got too much time to think about like what's wrong with their life. If that makes sense. Like so, like if you stay busy and you're in the gym, you're not thinking about your past or like what you don't have. You're thinking about your future and what you're trying to build towards and like what you're working towards really.
Yeah, or even if you are in there because you're thinking about what previously happened, I mean, you're using that as fuel to then become better.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I mean, if you get stuck in the hole where you just keep thinking about it, then you start prioritizing thinking about it, and then you let your brain take over. And once your brain's in control of your body of its thoughts all the time, that's when it can be difficult times like this. Yeah, I just want to touch on that because that's pretty crazy. Because there's the amount, especially our generation, the amount of people that's on antidepressants and stuff just kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
I've never.
It's a weird conversation when I hear somebody tell me that like they're currently on antidepressants. I'm like, are you okay? Like what's?
Yeah. What do you like? What is? Like you can see, you can breathe, you can smell, you have all your limbs. Like, and I get it. Like if it's just like wanting something you never had before, you don't know what it's like to have it, so you don't know what you're missing out.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing. Like if you never.
That's what I always tell people. I'm like, I don't experience it, so I don't know what you're dealing with. So I always ask questions about it. Like, I legitimately don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like I get being sad, but like so depressed that you feel like your life's not worth anything, or you can't get out of bed, or it's like you're paralyzed, like just by the thoughts or anxiety that you have.
Well, that's when your mind is taking over your body, where you're just in a deep trench. It doesn't help a lot of doctors are pill pushers. They want to give all the medication they can, and a lot of the medications will just like lower your testosterone. We just become like no emotion. Yeah, just a mush. Which is
that's a scary thought too. Like you're taking enough medication that it like destroys your mental completely to where you're numb to everything.
Well, it's like another thing's like birth control is that a lot of women that get on birth control, they start to look for more of a non-masculine man, a man similar, I wouldn't say to like the female side, but not overpowering, I guess, or not like big, strong, whatever. And then once they'll get off birth control, a lot of women have divorced or separated from their current relationship because their natural hormones are now wanting them to go find someone who's productive, leading, provider in essence. So which crazy mental thing on even birth control, and that's what a lot of women take.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I think all of that's really interesting. Just because I legitimately don't understand any of it.
Yeah, it's hard to comprehend. Like to like my point, like I've never drank or vaped or anything like that because I don't want to hinder any experience. Like I believe life, you're supposed to experience all emotions, stress, anxiety. You're supposed to feel defeat, but you're supposed to feel the victory. You're supposed to feel what it's like putting in the work and getting the result. So if you always try to just hinder those bad experiences, I don't think that's a benefit, you know, and then it only delays you trying to fix whatever started you to drink or smoke or whatever that is, right? So like tonight's a rough night, so you drink all night long. Well, then you already ruined your next day because you're hungover, and then the same problems are there versus just facing the problems, knowing that this too shall pass, whether it's good or bad things you're going through, or just going to the gym, as that's going to be a better thing than any medicine a doctor can give you, any alcohol.
Yeah, because it sort of clears your mind, and then like you
get
feel better.
Yeah, you get the happy blood cells that release from your muscles once you start stimulating them, you know. So you don't even have to go to the gym. Just start, you know, throw a backpack on with some weights in it. Go do some push-ups. Go walk outside with your dog. Go just be active. Your body will start responding better, you know. You'll sleep better. You have better metabolism. You'll get in better shape. More mental clarity because you have a way to exert the stress. Probably figure out a lot about yourself too, you know. Yeah.
But yeah, the whole like pill pushing thing is scary. Like I don't even like taking like anything stronger than Tylenol if I have a headache or I feel sick.
Yep.
Like maybe Dayquil. Other than that, like I try not to go to the doctor because as long as I think I'm healthy, you know, why else would I go there?
Yeah, yeah. That's my excuse for not being able to swallow pills.
You don't want to become a pill pusher.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get addicted.
And then in my head too, like if you're taking any kind of medication for anything, you're seriously messed up. Just because like I have to be seriously messed up just to go see the doctor. I have to be a broken bone, limb, or something. So like, for them to need to get a prescription for something, I feel like I'm like, holy shit. Are you okay?
You gotta minimize it because like 3 days, like Afrin or this nasal spray, after 3 days, your body starts needing it.
Yeah.
You know. Let's pause real quick. We'll be right back. Segment 4, number 4. Piggyback what we were talking about. I think a lot of it too, with our generation, because our generation's the first one to grow up with the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably a lot of that brings like false
expectations.
Thoughts. Yeah, expectations. I guess better word. Like one, that you should be. Like you're failing if you're not here by this time, or 2, you should have this house, this car, this relationship, when only the best things are posted on the internet when it's a personal person posting it. Nobody's going to post, you know, if they're trying to flaunt how good their life is. Nobody's going to post the, you know, the cheating of other people to get here, the lying to get here. No one's going to post that.
Yeah, it's usually a highlight reel. Yeah,
which then leads to, I think, people that I guess don't have the best leadership or the best capability to control their discipline to understand the difference of what's real and what's not, to then start believing that they should never have bad feelings. Mm-hmm. Hence the drugs to cure that, supposedly, you know, which mental illness, yes, is a real thing, but it's like a weird statistic that 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 people or something like that, which I don't have to look that up, but I thought I heard something crazy like that, or on some medication for their mental stability, which is wild to me. Like, you could just go to the gym at Planet Fitness for $10 a month and get in better shape and have better mental clarity, have more respect for yourself, you know, make better decisions on what you eat and drink, because you are putting an hour in every other day at the gym, or 2 hours in, you know, like it's something that can be changed. That I don't know why it's so difficult, but I think the internet plays a big role in that.
I do too. I think a lot of it's the internet, and then like how comfortable we are as a human race versus 100 years ago.
Well, not in take another step on the comfortability part, how comfortable we are with ourselves, because so many times do we compare to other people, and then that draws like, oh, we don't have that, oh, I'm a piece of shit, or I'm not gonna make it, or I'm not gonna, or like,
that's what I mean. Like 100 years ago, when
There was no
Like my
internet.
great grandparents were on a farm and had like 6 children. The only people you compared yourself was
or talk to is
or talked to was your family, people at church, or the people at the farmers market.
Yeah.
Like you're not comparing
Yeah.
yourself to the $1 million person that you see on the internet with the nicest car and then
yeah.
the service and planes and whatever.
Right. Yeah. And then there are also plenty of people that have all the money, but then you look at the other aspects, like are they married? Do they have kids? Are they loved? Are they respected? They'll have none of that, yet they have, $20 million. That money is worthless, like,
Yeah.
because you can't buy that other stuff. You can't buy a great relationship, and like Dan Brazilian, he, for the longest time, he's like, oh, like marriage is stupid. Yet he's come full circle now where he's starting to respect it. Like people that put off like that they don't need companionship, that's not real, because like you go to prison, the worst thing they can do to you is solitary confinement. Like people need people, so that's also a fake thing on the internet too, of that you don't need companionship. And then especially another thing that money can't buy is like youth. Like if you're in your 20s or teens or whatnot, and you're looking at a 30 or 40-year-old with all the house and money, and you're stressing that you don't have that, there you have something that they can't buy, which is, you got to see value in that too, and use your 20s for learning, not necessarily making money or working or prioritizing that, unless you simply enjoy making money or working super hard. The way I look at it is that, like, when you get to be 80 years old and you look back on your 20s, and if you're going to regret what you're doing currently, whether it is you're working too much or you're chasing money too much or you're out drinking or partying too much, then you need to change the direction of life you're in. Yet, if you enjoy what you're doing currently, even though it's maybe different than what most other people are doing, if you're not going to regret it when you're older, then continue on the path you're on, But outside of that, I ain't got nothing else.
I mean, you didn't really talk about your trip that much. Like how you ordered that Uber Black.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I never used the Uber before. I got off the airport in Fort Lauderdale. I downloaded the Uber app, and like they were all the same price. But I was like, man, I thought I heard Uber Black before. It's like the nice shit. So I clicked on that, ordered it, and it was a Ford Expedition Max, all blacked out. Dude with a button-up shirt comes out, opens the lift gate, leaned on the back, waiting for you to get there. And I get there with a backpack and a duffel bag. He's like, "Just you?" I'm like, "Yep." He's like, "All right, I'm in the back." Didn't say a word. Joe to the hotel. It was.
It's like what you get for like a full family pulling up.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, the vehicle sat 7 people, and I'm just like, I'll take the back seat. Like, it's cool. Like, it was cool. I mean, it's not worth the extra money, but it was.
That's so funny.
Yeah. It was a good trip. It was a BMW ran training trip, and it made you appreciate the brand a lot more. You learned objection handling. It's not how you say it, it's what you say. And a lot of it's like, we're selling the experience and selling the happiness, because not a single person on this world needs a BMW.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Hence why I do like working with that clientele, because it's typically, your 700 plus credit scores, your high income earners that are there because they want that standard of vehicle and the ultimate driving machine. So it's more enjoyable, my personal opinion, to sell those clients that you're selling the experience, you're selling what you truly offer, not just, hey, I'm a 540 credit score, $2,000 down, what can you put me in? Like, that's not, I never enjoyed really doing that much when I worked at a Dodge dealership yet. It's not for everybody. Some people like doing that versus the other way, but it was a good trip. Definitely would like to go on another one. The BMW also does like driving ones where like you drive all their performance cars and like track them and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I want to go on. Some of them are in California, so you'll fly out to California to go on the racetracks. There's no one like maybe South Carolina or something like that.
Dude,
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's zero classroom time. You're just learning what the brand's like from the experience side, or how they get their quote of the ultimate driving machine. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm good after that though.
Yeah, same.
Gotta do some editing, do some eating, play some Xbox, get it done. So
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody once again for watching. If you're still hanging along, ask us any questions you need to. Subscribe, like, do all that fun stuff, and I appreciate it. You guys have a good rest of your day.
Peace.